Hello everyone, my name is CHU WEI XIEN and welcome to my final year project presentation. The topic of my final year project is CarSense Personal Car Management App under Dr. Haikal as my supervisor. So what are the problem statements and proposed solution? Problem statements is that the petrol fuel nowadays is essential in powering a car and it is actually a very limited and non-renewable energy source. As demand for fuel increases, of course the cost of fuel will constantly rise and this can impose financial burden to vehicle owners. As the popularity of mobile apps and users depending on the mobile apps for daily tasks increases, CarSense is proposed as an all-in-one app to manage vehicles to efficiently view their costs and savings of their vehicles. So, what is CarSense? Background of CarSense and introduction to CarSense is that CarSense is essentially a car management mobile application. CarSense is a mobile app aimed to help users to manage their vehicles and track their spendings on their vehicles. So, of course, it incorporates real-time location tracking, petrol data graph tracking system, scheduling of car servicing dates, and of course the appointment cost system. What are the objectives for CarSense? So there are four main objectives, which is to develop a car management application that implements a petrol consumption tracker, to offer service appointment scheduling, to derive the nearest petrol station based on the user's location, and of course finally to offer calculating of cost system that displays output graphs. What are the technology deployed for CarSense? So the software or tools that I am using is Android Studio version Arctic Fox, Java JDK 8, the Java development kit, and of course the SDK, the software development kit, Google's NoSQL Firebase Cloud Database as my backend, and Visual Studio Code for the testing of my code and data. And as for hardware, I am using my Android phone, Android OnePlus 6 A6000 phone, which is having a 6GB RAM for my hardware. So what is the pseudocode for fuel tracker? As you can see, this is 2-page long. So essentially, I will declare 6 variables, which is the current month variable, the days variable, the week variable, the total current variable, total past 1 variable, and total past 2 variable. So the total current is within the total current month. Total past 1 is the past 1 month of data variable, and the past 2 means the past 2 months data variable. Basically, I will show 3 types of data, which is the weekly data, the monthly data, and past 3 months of data to the users in terms of graph output. So of course, users will input their fuel cost details. And if the fuel cost details is not an invalid input and is not empty, it will push the fuel cost details to the Firebase Cloud database, or else it will reject the user's input and users will need to input a proper input. So the algorithm detects whether the user's input is equals to the current month of the calendar. And as for that, after that, it will reach and go to the next algorithm to detect whether the current week is in that current month. And after that, it will detect for each day in the current week, it will increment the few days to display the weekly data. Next, in that current month for each week, which is basically 4 weeks, it will display and it will increment the few weeks data to display the monthly data. And then for each day in the current month, for each day in the past 1 month, and for each day in the past 2 months, it will display the 3 months of data, the past 3 months of data to the user. So this is the pseudocode for one of the main modules, which is the fuel tracker. So this diagram is my system architecture diagram. And as you can see here, they are location, servicing appointments, and petrol tracker incorporated into my Android mobile application with the internet gateway connected to my Firebase backend. And Firebase, it consists of the Firebase authentication services, of course, and the Firebase real-time database, which handles all the data and the backend. Moving on, this is the system module diagram of CarSense. So as you can see here, this is all labeled and categorized according to system, module, gateway, and submodules. So the dark blue one, CarSense, is the system, and everything, all of it, falls under the umbrella of CarSense. The light blue module is the mobile application, the backend services, and the calculation. Next is the gateway. The gateway is the one highlighted in orange, which is the internet and data synchronization. And the white modules are the submodules for the main module, which is the light blue color. So under mobile application, there are 4 submodules, which is the fuel expense tracker, the real-time location, the scheduling of car servicing, and of course the services expense tracker, which is synchronized with the data of calculation and the calculation of the cost in the submodule of the calculation module. And all of this is connected via the internet, which is the gateway, to the backend, which is Firebase essentially, which handles the account manager, the authentication services, and the vehicles database. Okay, now I will show and demonstrate my project. So, as you can see here, this This is the icon for my CarSense application, and this is the logo as well. So when the user launches the app for the very first time, it will bring them to the Welcome to CarSense sign in page, where you can see you can enter your email and you can enter your password and sign in. Of course, if the user don't have an account, they can choose to sign up as well and click the sign up button right here. So when the user clicks the sign up button, it displays the sign up page where you can enter your password, confirm your password, as well as your email and click sign up. And when they have an email, they can of course sign in as well. So you might be wondering, why is the background white color and why is my theme color purple? So I actually wanted to implement my application as a minimalistic application where it is easy to the eyes and it displays a nice and beautiful UI for the user. And the color purple was chosen actually because I wanted to represent USM, and USM official color is actually purple color. So as a USM student and a USM project, I wanted to represent the USM aspect into my application. So let's say for example, I would like to sign up and I click sign up here. So users, of course, they can enter your email, password and confirm your password. I can enter any email I want, let's say motu@gmail.com. So the password, I can enter maybe motu123 123 123 for example. And this one, confirm your password, motu123 123 123. Now, if the user maybe accidentally input the wrong password for the confirmation, so let's say maybe user inputted, let's say I enter another 3 for example, and it is different, and they wanted to sign up but they are not aware of it, they click sign up, oh no, the system actually gives a warning and say this is a different password. So of course the users will need to retype it all over again to ensure that it is the correct password. So right now it should be the correct password and user is able to sign up. So when user sign up for the first time, it will bring them to their edit profile data page. Editing profile data is essential because you need to set your profile data in order to access your account first. So right now user cannot click anything. As you can see right now, I can't go anywhere until I have set my data for edit profile data. But let's say users, they don't want to edit their profile data, or let's say they accidentally press the button of this, it will give an error of course to please add some data. So entering my name, let's say I am Mutu, my vehicle's model maybe my V 2017 for example, vehicle car plate number, let's say PGH1234, just for example. So right now when users enter their data, they can edit their profile data and successfully data entered. So after data is added, user then can only access the dashboard, which is on the left hand side here. As you can see, this is the CarSense dashboard with home, past 3 months chart, edit profile, field tracker, appointment cost, scheduling of appointment, location tracking, and logout. So if user click to home, as you can see right now, there are no chart data available, and you can see that there is a home icon logo on the top of the app. So this is to basically signify that, okay, right now user is in the home page of the application, and as you can see, this is all my data that I inputted just now, which is accurate. No chart data available. Of course, when they want to go to the past 3 months of chart, there are no chart data available as well, so it displays here. So this is a brand new account of brand new data. So I have another account. Let's log out for all. So if you want to log out, sure, I want to log out. Okay, so I'll move on to the past 3 months chart. And as you can see here, the data is of course different, with the May cost 180 ringgit, June cost 175, and users, they save 5 ringgit this month for fuel cost, and May cost 250, June cost 145, they save 105 ringgit this month for their appointment cost, as you can see here. So of course users, they can also play around with the chart as well, and they can view it more clearly by clicking on it. So as you can see, this is the past 3 months chart for fuel cost and appointment cost, which is April, May, and June, with the current month being June. So of course users, they can edit their profile data again to set the data they want for their homepage here, which is John Honda Civic and PDL4321. And fuel tracker. So this is the fuel tracker for the cost for fuel. So of course, as you can see here, I have some data inputted beforehand, and as you can see right now, it's a Saturday 26th June. So Saturday 26th June, it is empty. Friday, it is empty as well, as I didn't input any data. When users, they click pick a date, and as you can see here, it will display today's date by default, so which is of course Saturday 26th of June. Let's say I click OK. I want to input maybe fuel consumption of maybe let's say 20 ringgit. 20 ringgit. Maybe I want to input it in petrol, for example. So petrol. So of course users, they can click insert. So it will pop up the message of whether you want to input data, yes or no, confirmation message. So if users click no, of course it will bring them back to the page. Users click yes, it will say successfully data added. So this is actually a preliminary action, and it is a must because as you all know, I am using the Firebase database as my backend, and with the free version of Firebase database, I am actually incapable of deleting generated data, as you can see. So if I were to delete the data from the backend, I will need to manually delete in the admin console. So you can see here Saturday, and you can see 20 ringgit for my petrol. So of course, similarly, if users pumped petrol yesterday and they want to input it for yesterday, it is possible as well. They just have to select it from the pick a date, and let's say I click yesterday, and this time maybe I want to go maybe 50 ringgit for example, and maybe I'll go with Caltex, okay, for example. So it should be a Friday, yes. So insert. So data added, and as you can see, actually the data scales accordingly with the graph. So the graph also displays accordingly with the amount of data it is accepting. So as you can see right now, you see my highest is 50 ringgit, and the other graph seems smaller a little bit because of the existence of the 50 ringgit graph. So of course, this is a bird's eye view. Users can, of course, as you can see here, zoom in. Users can zoom in and have a clearer look. So you see Monday, okay, Monday, so Caltex is green. I have 30 ringgit worth of data here. So the users, of course, can view out again and have a bird's eye view of everything from Monday to Sunday. And as this is the weekly data, this changes accordingly to the network calendar. So it will actually have an algorithm in my code to basically detect that, okay, right now is a Saturday and it is within the current week from Monday to Sunday. So it will display this week's data that is available in the system. So when next Monday comes, so it will actually refresh the whole chart and it will show an empty chart if there is no data. So of course, other than my fuel cost, if I go back to my home, and as you can see, it actually updates also in real time. So as you can see right now, you see my petrol is actually 75 ringgit, my Caltex is 100 ringgit, and this is for my current month in June. So if I go to my past 3 months chart, you see May cost is 180, June cost is 245 ringgit. So actually, remember I saved 5 ringgit earlier this month. So right now I actually exceeding my my budget. Right now, users, of course, they can input for the appointment cost as well. So as explained earlier, so week 1, week 2, week 3, 4. Week 4 on the final week, it is actually on the date of 22 to 28 or 29 or 30th or 31 of the date of the month, the current month. So let's say I pick a date, 26 June, okay, today. So let's say I want to input maybe, for example, 50 ringgit. Okay, same goes as well, yes. So successfully data added, and as you can see, it scales accordingly. And right now, 70 ringgit is my highest graph, and you can see 50 ringgit is being shortened because there is an existence of 70 ringgit here in week 4. So 50 plus 20, of course, it will be 70 ringgit. And of course, the data changes as well. As you can see, past 3 months chart. Right now, you see I'm saving only 55 ringgit this month. And my home, so you see, I spend a lot more, 70 ringgit in my week 4, as shown here. So this is my scheduling appointment details. Basically, this after appointment cost, which is shown earlier here. So scheduling appointment details, this one is to schedule appointment, to allow users to schedule appointment, and it is actually connected to the default calendar application of the user's device. So as you can see here, there is title, location, description. So of course, again, as to prevent bugs and give out error messages, let's say users click schedule appointment, okay, cannot, right? Because you have to fill in data before exporting the data into my calendar. So as you can see, title. If I click schedule appointment, it will pop up a message and say whether you want to complete action using calendar or Outlook. So it only detects the type of application that is considered as a calendar category. So as you can see, my default is actually calendar. Calendar is actually a Google Calendar. So I click just once. So it brings me to calendar, and as you can see my car service. The title is there. As you can see, my location, Central Auto Service Center. My details. Of course, users can also change once again when they are within the Google Calendar application here. And location is actually really handy because when users click on the location, Google will actually find the best matches location. So as you can see, there's one here, Georgetown, Penang. So users can click that and it will display the actual location here to verify that it's actually a legit location. So users maybe they can set, maybe for example I set it on 30th June, 4:30 to 5:30. So and users click save. So it's right now saved. Users can go back as well to this one, and users, of course, they can go to their calendar, their default calendar from the application, so that users can get a first glance view of their calendars, appointments, and everything. So let's say if I click go to calendar, you see it actually brings me to my default calendar, which is Google Calendar. So if I go back, so this is basically it for my schedule appointment details. If I were to go location tracking, which is my last one, but not least, sub-module. So this actually shows the user's current location in a map, and it actually can display the nearby gas station. So if I click open map activity, so as you can see this year, it will display my user's current location. So this is my current location right now. As you can see here, it is in Petaling Jaya, Selangor. So this is my current location. So of course, users, I've implemented a additional fun feature where you can actually search a place name. Let's say I search New York, for example. New York. I click the search button on the right here. So as you can see, it displays New York, and of course you can view the entire New York map as well when you zoom out. Or you want to go back to your user's current location, you can click this, and it will bring you back to the user's current location right here. As you can see here, user current location. So of course, when users, they want to view petrol stations nearby in order to go to the nearest petrol station to save on their fuel costs, right? So you can see here down there is a petrol station icon logo. When you just click on that, it actually search for the nearby petrol station and it shows nearby petrol station. So as you can see here, this is the nearest petrol station within a 5 km radius within me. So as you can see, all this individual yellow location is a petrol station. You can see users can click here and view all the petrol station, the brand of the petrol station, and the address of the petrol station. So let's say users want to go to this one, for example, Shell, in Taman Gembira, Petaling Jaya. So on the bottom right, you can see there is a Google Map icon. As this is using Google Maps API, so of course it can link to the Google Map calendar as well. So if I were to click this Google Map icon here, so it will bring me to the location, the exact latitude and longitude of that petrol station. So of course users, they can bring this up and they can see, oh wow, it is really a petrol station. Of course users will be happy because it is also legit as well. So users, of course, they can click directions, and as you can see, it's within 5 kilometers, 3.2 km, 8 minutes car ride. So of course users can go and drive and start their journey to the petrol station that they desire. So if I go back, so of course users, they want to have a bird's eye view again of their petrol station, they can click this button and to search and show for the nearest petrol station again. So if users want to access the sidebar and site navigation again in CarSense, of course they can go back. So you bring them back to the homepage part where they can access the sidebar navigation. So as you can see here right now, I'm in the location tracking module. Of course, users, finally they can log out as well, and this is the logout page with the, of course, animated icons in every single page to display to the users that users know, okay, what page they are in. So it's a visual representation of the page they are currently in. So of course users can log out and you'll bring them back to the CarSense sign-in page. So finally, that is my project demonstration. And for the conclusion and future work, of course, CarSense is not a perfect application. I would, of course, given enough time and given enough resources, I would love to implement real-time viewing of petrol prices, as you can see here, so that users can actually view the fuel petrol prices with real-time updates. For example, like maybe RON 95 in Petron station is maybe 2 ringgit, for example, and RON 97 Petron prices, so they can actually be able to view it and update it in real time within the application itself to know. So that is actually what I love to implement if given enough time and resources. And also, of course, to actually have the monetary resources to, of course, subscribe for the premium Firebase services, where users are then able to delete their inputted data and actually store more data in the server as well. As CarSense is a big data application, it can handle a lot of data at one time. So being able to subscribe for premium Firebase services will be actually useful for the longevity of CarSense. And finally, of course, last but not least, it would be lovely if I could implement it as a cross-platform system where both Android and iOS devices can be used for this system. So in a nutshell, basically, CarSense is actually successful and is able to deliver the requirements to the users. And it aims to ease the life of people managing their vehicles because it is an all-in-one application with the power of technology to actually make life better and more productive. So that is it for my final year project presentation. And thank you very much for watching this video.